Hello my fellow YouTubers, today it's finally here. This big box have a beautiful huge car inside. This is the new Red Kit Racing R5 1/5 scale 8S brushless electric monster truck. Let's open the box, see what we got inside. They were supposed to get released a couple weeks ago and it's got delayed. Now we got it here. We're gonna do a video of it getting it out of the box, and we're gonna do a review and showing you every part of the car and what maybe you should upgrade later. Let's start. So when you open your box, you have two boxes inside. You have the general box that they ship it to the shop with, and then there is another box inside with a big R5. And let's see what we got here. It's packed really nice actually. In the box, the wheels, it's actually, they packed it if it was a 1/10 scale car. It's already completely assembled and ready to go. Only thing you need to do is that grab the front bumper, grab the rear bumper, and yank it out, and there it is. Okay, let's do this. Grab it from the bottom. There she is. A little bit crooked, but let's fix the problem. Okay, so out of the box, this is actually what you are going to get. Let's flip those real quick. Pretty big truck if you compare it to the other Red Kit Racing Rampage. This thing is huge. Very big tires. Look at it compared to my hands. And I have big hands, and this is pretty big tires. They have a nice offset on the tires, beautiful finish on the colors of it. They make it look like a little bit like a Ford truck. If you look from the front, let's do this real quick. I'm gonna put a quick platform over here for you guys. There it is. From the front, this front edge, even though it's not saying Ford on it, it's actually look like a Ford truck. When you look all around the vehicle, they did those small toe anchors. It's pretty cool. They did the top rail really good. If you look on the bottom, I can already see that there's a big skid plate over there, right there. There's a skid plate. Now let's do this. Let's open it up. I'm gonna put it on the table, so it's gonna be a little bit easier to look. You should look around and see how pretty it is. So I just placed this big truck on my counter. I'm kind of worried that the counter glass is going to collapse. This is literally weighing about like 30 pounds or so. I just want to show a really quick size comparison. This is a 1/5 scale. This over there. I'm gonna keep looking down to this one 12 scale HPI, or this one 10 scale Red Kit Racing Everest 7 Gen Pro, the Gen Pro. Look how big this is compared to that. All in one picture. You can see those are tiny near it. When you look at all around, it's been built really nice. The structure of this look very cool, look like a real vehicle. Attention to details they put over here, kind of marbleized paint. That is really cool, and it's much nicer when you actually looking at it, not through the camera. The camera cannot really catch all the details that they put in it, but it looks like if it's made out of marble. And the orange metallic paint, that is really nice and shiny. We'll take it to the sun so you see how it's looking in the sun, because it's gonna literally glow. Let's open it up and see what we have underneath. Okay, let's open it up. So a little trick to open it up. Those those are pretty big, but they're still hard to pull because they're very tight over there. So what I usually like to do, you just take the tip of it and pull it at the next one, and you don't scratch the car like this. It's much easier to open. On those one, I usually recommend to put a small zip tie inside, and it's much easier to work with. Now, let's remove the body. I'm gonna flip it first and give you guys another trick today. If you don't want to ruin a brand new body from front to back, what you're gonna do, you're gonna take a couple layers of duct tape and you're gonna layer it inside. You're gonna put duct tape all over the front and back, couple layers, especially in all the corners and all the creases. You're gonna put over here duct tape or Gorilla tape, and then when you crash the car, it's making the body a little bit thicker and it's not gonna break. Especially on a heavy 1/5 scale car, you want to do that. It's kind of a must. Let's put the body aside and see what we got here. Okay, let's start with how massive this thing is. We have aluminum frame. This is not plastic frame, this is aluminum frame. Unlike the Traxxas X-Max that it's all plastic, this is actually aluminum. If you look here on the front and on the back over here, we have aluminum support that will support from here all the way up to the shock towers. The shock towers here are a combination of aluminum with a piece of plastic that covering it, and this one holding your rear shock and rear suspension. Now let's talk about the shock real quick. They use on this vehicle shocks that look very similar. I'm sure that actually it's the same shock that come in on the Red Cat Racing Rampage MT and XT, actually XT, not MT. They are adjustable coilover, they are oil filled. When you press it down, you see it have a nice slow rebound, so it's pretty good. You have massive dog bones over here. Now I'm gonna give a trick real quick about this. This is moving more than I would want to here on my car. What you want to do is gonna open the screws over here. You're gonna pull the dog bone out, and you're gonna put fuel tubing in each side. Just a small piece of fuel tubing, and it can flex with the fuel tubing, and it's not gonna make this noise. It's not gonna be direct metal to metal. So this is just a quick tip. Now, when we keep looking at it, you cannot really ignore the fact that there is a huge battery bay over here. You're gonna be able to put here a set of two 3S 11.1 batteries, two of them, and for your higher performance, and actually what this thing designs for, you're gonna end up putting two 4S batteries, one 4S here, one 4S there, and then you're gonna have a total of 8 cells to run this monster, and you will have top performance doing that. Now let's go over, before we get into the power plant. I'm sure that you guys say, okay, show us the power plant. No, you wait. Let's go over the bumpers. The front bumper and the rear bumper are the same. They're the same thing. This is the only thing that I would like to concentrate real quick for a second, and there is a reason for it. I think that they design it really nice, but it's not designed as good as it should be. This thing designed to be able to collapse when something hit it. So it's gonna collapse backward like this, but it's way too soft. In an impact, it's not gonna do a lot. So I think that this piece here should get reinforced. Red Cat Racing people, if you guys listening, and I know you are, this needs to be a little bit stronger material, or even bent upwards over here, so it's not gonna collapse backward. It will be a shock absorber. Another trick that can be done with it, that I already did a little bit research how to do that, is you are going to take parts from a Red Cat Racing Rampage MT V3 Pro. They have a nice big strong bumper with support that can get adjusted to be here for the front. When you're running 8S batteries and you're gonna go so fast, if you crash, you want this to help and protect your vehicle. Now, as long as we're here, let's talk about the front shocks. The front shocks and the rear shocks are two different sizes. Those are a little bit shorter shocks on the front. their rear a little bit bigger. The entire front over here set up really nice. It's have a 30 kilogram servo. We're going to go over the servo in a minute, but those shocks a little bit smaller. They also set up in a different angle, but you can adjust them. There is adjustment that you can actually lift it up to the next hole up, and there's another hole right there that you can actually play with the suspension on this vehicle. So it can be very good. You're going to be able to adjust to whatever you want. Now let's look right here inside. It's kind of hard to see, but right there where my finger is, those are nice offsets that they put on this vehicle to make it wider. The fact that right now it's going to be a little bit wider, it's mean that you're going to be able to do higher speed, faster turns without worry about the car flipping so easily because it's wide. Also, it's something to look at to get from Redcat replacement parts like this for your other Rampage vehicles to make them wider and using those bigger tires, because those tires are bigger than the other XT tires. And now, the moment you all been waiting for. I'm gonna turn the vehicle for a second. And there is our power plant. Let's start. The power plant over here have a huge brushless motor. Okay, if you comparing this, when I'm saying huge and say, oh, Castle Creation is bigger, yes, Castle Creation is bigger, but this is not a Castle Creation motor. This is a different motor that produced for Redcat Racing. This one is 1050 kV motor. It's pretty strong. It's a, again, 1050 kV motor designed for 6 and 8S. So this will let you run very fast, and in order to keep it cool, they add 2 cooling fans. You have a set of 2 cooling fans on the cooling ribs, keeping this thing cool. I think that this is great that they actually did that. I know that some people that run the car really fast get into a very hot situation and end up ruining the magnet inside of the brushless motor. If you don't know what it's mean, faster you go, warmer the brushless motor will get. Warmer it is if it's overheat, the magnet lose a little bit of their power and you don't have a good motor anymore. Now, so this is our motor. Over here we got 160 amp brushless electric ESC. I believe that they used over here Hobby Wings brushless motor, but it could be that I'm mistaken because Redcat Racing made their own ESC, and you know what, I think that this is actually maybe the new one that manufactured for them, not the Hobby Wings. When I'm looking around, I cannot see any Hobby Wings label, so let's assume that this is the new Redcat Racing. It's already come with a cooling fan as well. This big brushless motor have a cooling fan to cool it up. You have here those 3 good guys here that will prevent you from ruining your ESC when you have jumping in the voltage. Overall, this and that is a good combination. This brushless ESC motor are very good to work together. Now you have here, this entire area is completely waterproof. You got over here your small box that contained inside the receiver. It's easy to open. There's only 2 screws if you want to upgrade your remote. This is your on-off switch, and this is your reset. The reset button is kind of critical to some people, because with this reset button what you can do is actually you can reset your vehicle to run forward and a brake without a reverse, and then there is less chances of you breaking the gears on the vehicle. So this is a good thing to learn, actually read the instruction and learn how to deal with it. Redcat Racing also selling a programming card that will let you do that. Easy on off switch, so it's pretty cool. Now, I'm hiding those on purpose. You get 2 XT90 connectors. Those 2 XT90 connectors will work with actually good current from coming from a battery, so you don't have to worry about it. Those are pretty good. I think that those are one of the best ones that you can get on the market. Some people will say no, something else, but I think that those are right now kind of one of the strongest one. You're gonna need to get probably battery with those XC90 connector as well. Some of the batteries today are not arriving with it. I need to look in the box. They may be actually giving you the female for this that will go on top of the batteries. If you're running before any ARMA vehicle, you probably will have already the battery ready to fit on this, but you're gonna have 2 3-cell, not 2 4-cell. This vehicle is running for 2 4-cell. Now, we talked about the ESC, we talked about where the receiver and sitting over here, and we talk about the motor. And now we got this big center differential. This big center differential over here is pretty cool. It's completely accessible. So if you need to change the gear, you just open one screw here, one screw there, and there's another screw on the bottom, and this cover come out. And all you need to do is remove the broken gear or whatever upgrade you want, put it back, and it's ready to go. You also have your center diff right there, and if you look right here, you could see actually your transfer for front and back. They're right there, front and the back side, right there, and they're kind of exposed, so you see if you need to retight the set screw on it or any kind of a problem with it, you can actually adjust it from here, so it's pretty cool. Now let's go over a couple cool features that you can see on this vehicle, and when you look first, you're not going to be able to tell without someone pointing it to you. Let's go over here for a second. This is our 30 kilogram steering servo. They took up through a hole over here to the bottom over there and hook up to a servo saver right here. So whenever you hit something, you're not going to break it. Also, what we got over here is a frame that actually the entire front end of it is about like 3 or 4 pieces. So if you hit something and you damage the front end of the vehicle, this, that, and some pieces on the bottom are all one piece, one, so you don't destroy your entire frame. Each part is individual parts for himself that putting together your front end of the vehicle. So it's really important when you crash in a high speed, it will be a very easy fix. Again, if you're looking over here, you could see that they put on top of your dog bones, where the dog bones hook up over here to your differential, they actually put metal rings to make it stronger, so it's not going to break and not going to pop out. Overall, those arms look like the same arms that come in on the Red Kit Racing Rampage XT. Those parts are pretty durable. You're not going to break them easily. It's going to be very hard to break them. Now, let's flip this vehicle. I really want to show some stuff underneath it that are very simple, and when you see them, you're going to say, wow, this is going to be fun to mess with because it's not going to break easily. Okay, let's see what we got here. Now, this vehicle is flipped. I want to actually make something very clear. This is not part of the frame. This is not a plastic frame like Traxxas did. This is just a cover for the center differential with the front and rear dog bones going to your differentials. This is just a cover to prevent it from getting damaged. This is your frame. It's the big aluminum piece over here. Now you have a big skid plates on the front and a big skid plate on the back. Those are actually almost 4 millimeter aluminum. It's mean that they are strong as hell. I don't see how anybody can actually break this, bend this, but if you do, please share what you did. If we go over here and look very good on those arms, those are very massive arms. They're about 8 to 9 millimeters, and I don't see any way someone will break those easily, even hitting something. When you look over here, and you can see right now when it's more exposed, this is how the servo system working with a servo saver. It's running very smooth even when you just move it by hand. It's really cool system, and it's very strong. It will be very hard for anybody to break something like this. Again, this entire bottom part of the vehicle give you more clearance. This entire center give you a lot of clearance, so even if you're going to do big jump and landing on rocks, there is less possibility that you're going to break something over here, so it's really cool. Now regarding this part over here, later on I'm gonna try to figure out how to make a small aluminum cover, or like kind of a any like 3D printed cover that can cover this, so if you land on something with a sharp edge, you're not gonna break the steering servo arm. Let's flip the car back, put a cover, and show it again, and then you should start saving your money to buy one. This is how it's look again with the body on top of it. And this is how it's come out of the box. I'm not gonna waste your time showing you the remote. It's a regular standard remote that come with it. Nothing is unique about it. It's all the remotes are the same. But this is the vehicle that you are going to get. It's going to be very fast, it's going to be very strong, it's very pretty. I believe that later you can probably gonna have like lights and other option that you can put on it in order to make it a little bit night friendly. But this what you are going to get. This is the Red Cat Racing R5 1/5 scale RC monster truck, and even through with the body you can see how cool the system, the shocks and everything over there. A lot of aluminum, everything is aluminum on this. Like, I don't believe that you need the A-arm aluminum, you need something to give when you're gonna crash, but overall this is the vehicle. This is Eric from RC Monster Garage MotoStyle Hobby Shop in Granada Hills. Like and subscribe. We're gonna start giving some of the gift that we got from Red Cat, the hats, the shirts, and couple other goodies. So like and subscribe. And I want to give you guys a tip. A lot of you guys don't know yet, but we are one of the best airbrush artists that you can meet. I'm gonna show you now what we are going to give out soon. Those are a couple of the bodies that I airbrushed, and we got another one right here, this Monster Energy vehicle that I just did. And the reason that I'm showing you is not only to show off. I did also those boats, this fender, and let's go through here into this Avenger car body, and I did all those. Now the reason that we're showing it, if you like and subscribe to our channel, we actually going to airbrush couple bodies and give them away. Yes, it's gonna be a 1/10 scale and a 1/8 scale bodies that we're gonna be giving away. All you need to do is like, subscribe, and share our videos. As simple as that. See you on our next video, how this vehicle run.